Welcome back to my opinion. This video is going to be about slavery and reparations. And this is probably going to make some people mad. Oh my. Big old hornet landed on my windshield just now. I'm parked, but I had to look at it. But anyway, it wasn't a murder hornet, I don't think. I hope not. But anyway, reparations. Yes, it was in the United States recent history, fairly recent. We're one of the last countries on earth to have had slavery. I honestly feel that, all right, no one alive today, was a slave. Okay, I agree, I get that. I don't think anyone should be paid for their ancestors being enslaved. If we go down that road, then that means the rest of us need some money from somebody. The English owe me, with my Scottish ancestry, some money. If you're Jewish, the Germans owe you money. If you're Palestinian, the Jews owe you money. If you're Chinese, Taiwan, you could argue, owes you money, because Taiwan was part of China once. It still is in some eyes, and it's not in other eyes, etc. Native Americans. I mean, let's be honest, we would have to owe them some money. Eskimos, climate change, Alaska, Canada, you owe them money. Rome. So all the Italians today, and anyone who was a kingdom of Rome at one time, owes all other kingdoms in Switzerland money, and each one of those kingdoms own another kingdom, owes them money. The Irish and the Scots owe each other. Switzerland may be the only country that doesn't owe anybody. I'm not really sure. Technically, I guess they owe the Celts. So if you have any Celtic ancestry, the country of Switzerland owes you money. See how this goes? I mean, no one alive today in the United States was a slave. And let's be honest, if you are an American-born black person, then you're lucky. You were born. Your ancestors would not have had you if that hadn't happened. As bad as it was, as horrible, as terrible as it was. And so, just like the potato famine, the Irish wouldn't have come over here and we wouldn't have the Scot-Irish, for the most part. So, everybody needs to get over what everybody owes them. What happened to your ancestors happened to your ancestors, not to you. Now, are there people who were denied their constitutional rights in this country because of the color of their skin? Yeah. And there are some people that are still alive today, and maybe indirectly some of their children, or were affected because, let's say, for example, you're a real old guy, black guy, and you were in that age when you were they wouldn't hire you because you were black. You were denied places to live because of where you were black. You had to sit on the back of a bus, drink out of different water fountains, use other toilets, etc., blah 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 blah. Okay, that education would have been denied to you, to your children. So do those people deserve some reparations? That can be argued. How much? Who's going to pay this? I mean, I wasn't alive then. I was born in 1967. I was a baby during those times. Um, why should I have to pay for that? My parents are both deceased. Neither one of them were racist. Um, even when it was okay to be racist, they weren't. I remember I lived in Michigan when I was a little child, a small child, and I was playing with the neighbors. And the two brothers that lived across the street, I was playing with them, and two older teenage white kids who were the neighborhood bullies. If I knew their names, I'd out them because they were douchebags. But anyway, I mean, they bullied us because we were hillbillies. So, I mean, I suffered discrimination too. Does Michigan owe me money? So, they walked by and they seen them and called them the K word. If you don't know what the K word is, or C, it might be spelled with a C. And I went home and I asked my mom and what that was, what that meant. And she said to ignore that. People like that are ignorant. And, I mean, where does that road go to? Where does it stop? Who do we give this money to? So, I mean, in this day and age, we've had a black president. Clarence Thomas is a well-known, respected, oddly enough, by Republicans, the ones who are supposed to be racist. Who, by the way, Clarence Thomas is a Republican, I do believe. Don't forget, people, it was the Democrats who pushed slavery and inequality and all that stuff. Research your history before you start talking about which party is the racist party. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Jefferson Davis was a Democrat. Yeah. Learn some history, folks. But I mean, where does that stop? You're fortunate enough to, for whatever circumstances, however your genetic pool got here, you are here. You could have been born in Russia, China, Indonesia, India even isn't the greatest place. Africa's got all kinds of problems. You could have been born a Hutu or a Tutsi, taking turns on slaughtering each other. You could have been born in Sudan. I mean, you wouldn't have been born, period, because your parents wouldn't have met. And maybe you all owe each other money too. Let's not forget. Europeans didn't go traveling through the jungles and capture Africans. Europeans bought them at ports from other Africans. You all sold each other. So y'all need to trace your genes and see who owes who money, right? Nobody owes anything. Just, we're here. It's now. You didn't suffer any of that. If you're one of those poor, unfortunate folks that suffered discrimination sitting on the back of a bus or whatever, and you're still alive, I'm open to conversation about that. I don't know who needs to pay it, because ultimately it would be the government, which is ultimately the taxpayers. The government always seems to think that, it's their money. It's not. It's our money. It's tax dollars. Our money. But, yeah. That's how I feel about it. That's my opinion. Leave me in the comments what you think about it. Reparations. Who and why. Like, share, and subscribe. Be safe and stay safe.